You're the best waiver wire pickups for fantasy basketball week 7. Let's start with Goga Bitadze. I mean, this guy's coming off of 43 fantasy points. The minutes, little concerning, 23 minutes per game, but look at the fantasy point average, 27.6, and over the past 2 weeks, it's over 30. This is a guy who's getting more minutes, and he's been balling. People forget, because he looks like he's 35. He's actually 23, I think, or 24. He's really young and continuously improves ever since he's been in the league. On that same team, Mo Wagner, I mean, he's only rostered in 12.6% of the ESPN fantasy leagues, 23.3 fantasy point average, 19.2 minutes per game isn't like great, but he's averaging like 30 fantasy points over the last 5 games. Next has got to be Royce O'Neal. Now, there's a lot of talk. Of course, he has great teammates. KD, Book, Bradley Beal, Tyus Jones has been great. Nurkic is hit or miss. But because of Book and KD, Royce O'Neal gets a ton of open looks, like every night, right? He's knocking down shots. He's a great defender, a championship role player. That's kind of what he is, right? 26.6 fantasy point average, 26 minutes per game. He gets the minutes. He's consistently producing, only rostered in 11% of leagues. This is a guy everybody should be picking up because he shows it on a nightly basis. Next has got to be Cody Martin. I mean, with LaMelo Ball out, this guy's playing time has increased. 26.2 minutes per game, 23.3 fantasy point average, and that's obviously been well over 28 over the past 2 weeks since LaMelo's been out. Another guy I like a lot, he's been on this list before, Cason Wallace, 5% roster in ESPN fantasy leagues, 23.1 fantasy point average, 26 minutes per game. And guys like this that get a ton of steals and blocks, like elite defenders like Cason is, these guys get fantasy points very easily. And that's why I still have Ben Simmons on this list. I know he's coming off of a 1 fantasy point game, but the game before he had 55 fantasy points, and he gets steals, blocks, and rebounds and assists. Those are all going to add up, and he doesn't miss shots because he doesn't take shots. So it's not like he's going to get minus fantasy points. 25.2 fantasy point average, 24 minutes per game. And like I mentioned about Cason Wallace, like really good defenders, easy fantasy points. Marcus Smart, since he's come back, has been excellent. Yes, he has John Morano's team. The Memphis Grizzlies are arguably the deepest team in the league. They're up there. But, I mean, he's so good. And with the steals and blocks, it's so easy for him to get like 30 fantasy points on a nightly basis. Make sure you guys are taking a look at, in that same realm, Miles McBride, very good defender, makes a lot of threes, 25.7 minutes per game, 23 fantasy point average. Did I miss anybody? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to follow for more fantasy basketball content like this.